Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Rajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parigvaracharya Stotha Shri Srimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahansa Parigvaracharya Stotha Shri Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shama Kundo Radha Kundo Giri Govardhan Ki Jai. Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Ganga Mai Ki Jai. Yamuna Mai Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Bhakti Devi Ki Jai. Sri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Samavita Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Sri Guru and Sri Gauranga Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna. If I can request the men to come a little closer, the ones behind Naveen Sham. Everybody's back there. The women are good, I think, for now. Thank you. So today's topic is from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 9, verse 27. If we have the database, we can pull it up. If not, if you have the Bhagavad Gita, it's even better. But either way, chapter 9, verse 27. And if you need the Bhagavad Gita, Pranam, you can just pass it out to those who need it. Whoever needs it, please get a copy from Pranav. He's passing it out. I will chant the Sanskrit, and if devotees would like to chant after me, please do so. Yad karosi yad asnasi. Yad juhosi dadasi yad. Yat tapasyasi konteya. Tad kurusva madarpanam. Yat karosi yad asnasi. Yad juhosi dadasi yad. Yat tapasyasi konteya. Tad kurusva mad arpanam. Yat karosi yad asnasi. Yat yujosi dadasi yat. Yat tapasyasi konteya. Tad kurusva madarpanam. If you want to chant, you can. Any of the women wanted to try? We'll do the word for word synonym translation. Yad, whatever. Karoshi, you do. Yat, whatever. Asnasi, you eat. Yat, whatever. Juhoshi, you offer. Dadasi, you give away. Yat, whatever. Yat, whatever. Tapasya, austerities you perform. Konteya, O son of Kunti. Tat, that. Kurusva, do. Mat, unto me. Arpanam, as an offering. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. Purport. Thus, it is the duty of everyone to mold his life in such a way that he will not forget Krishna in any circumstance. Everyone has to work for maintenance of his body, soul together. And Krishna recommends herein that one should work for him. Everyone has to eat something to live. Therefore, he should accept the remnants of foodstuffs offered to Krishna. Any civilized man has to perform some religious, ritualistic ceremonies. Therefore, Krishna recommends, do it for me. And this is called archana. Everyone has a tendency to give something in charity. Krishna says, give it to me. And this means that all surplus money accumulated should be utilized in furthering the Krishna consciousness movement. And nowadays, people are very much inclined to the meditational process, which is not practical in this age. But if anyone practices meditating on Krishna 24 hours a day by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra round his beads, he is surely the greatest meditator and the greatest yogi, as substantiated by the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Pretty powerful verse. So today's topic is how to see blessings through austerity. First of all, Silver, can you bring it down a little bit? It's a little too much in my face. I don't want to. First, we want to start with what is the definition? Thank you, much better, thank you. What is the definition of blessings? Let me ask the audience, what is the definition of blessings? In your, whatever you know. I want to hear some feedback.
Good wishes.
Good wishes. Yes. Anything else?
Specifically, one takes towards Krishna.
One take towards Krishna. I like that. Anything else that's coming to your mind? Meaning of blessing. Anything from the women's side? Empowerment. I like that. Very nice. Actually, that's pretty powerful, empowerment. According to the Webster Dictionary, the definition of the meaning of blessing is God's favor and protection. A prayer asking for God's favor and protection. Now, what is the meaning of austerity? Giving up something. Oh, yes, voluntary inconvenience. Absolutely, yeah. Sacrifice. Yep, very nice. How about the women? Hardships. Oh, yeah. Comes with the package. When we think of blessing, our general understanding, right, when we say, Krishna, God, please bless me, it's always linked to something positive. It is never something negative. Because to us, the word blessing means something positive. So we expect something positive. So we don't view blessing as something negative. For example, I've come across the situation, including myself. When we pray for a devotee husband or wife, what happens is the Lord gives us a devotee husband or wife. Now, this is the key word. He gives us a devotee husband or wife. We don't know the nature. He just gives us the devotee husband and wife. And what we think is, oh, I'm married to a devotee. Everything is good. Now that I'm married to a devotee, I can progress in Krishna consciousness. Does it work that way? It goes like this. It doesn't. Because we expect that when we pray to Krishna, says, Krishna, please give me a devotee husband or wife, we think that we're going to soar beautifully high in Krishna consciousness, and everything is going to be hunky-dory, roses outside, the grass is green, everything is beautiful, right? No, it doesn't happen that way. We have to become a devotee ourselves. Instead of making or expecting, oh, I'm married to a devotee, now everything is perfect. Even the lion must go out and chase for food. He doesn't open his mouth and the food comes, right? If we see that the lion has to run, look for the deer, look for the prey, look for the whatever, to chase for his meal. The deer or the prey or whatever the prey is, it doesn't run into the lion's mouth. One way or the other, we have to take some austerity. Some tapasya is involved in it, When we use the word austerity, sometimes it's connotated as renunciation. And that's why I liked what Nitya Gopal said and Subrat said. Austerity actually means voluntarily accepting trouble for spiritual advancement. I think you said hardships. That's trouble. Austerity means voluntarily accepting. The word is voluntarily. Accepting trouble for spiritual advancement. What is the first example that comes to your mind when we think of voluntarily accepting trouble for spiritual advancement? A personality, sorry. Mother Kunti. She prayed for trouble. Why did she pray for trouble? It's not like she had enough trouble. She went through everything that anybody could think of ever since she got married to King Pandu. Never had a wonderful, married life, lack of a better word. But she prayed for trouble. She voluntarily asked the Lord, give me calamity so that I will never forget you. Why? So that we advance spiritually. If we read in Bhagavatam, in the former ages, as they say, devotees perform severe austerities to please Krishna. Severe austerities. One of it we know is Dhruva Maharaj, right? He was only 5 years old when he left the home to seek the Supreme Lord. He wanted to find the Lord. He wanted to find where's the Supreme Lord. So when he met Narada Muni instructed him to perform some mystic yoga and devotion and all that good stuff. And then under Narada's direction, Dhruva went to the forest and he practiced austerity. He voluntarily accepted trouble and hardships for spiritual advance because he wanted to see the Lord. He was searching for the Lord. That's why he did it. It wasn't for time pass. It wasn't to feel special. He sincerely wanted to find where is Krishna. So during the first month, Dhruva ate only a little food once every 3 days. 5-year-old boy, imagine that. A little food. You know, forget every 3 days. Every 3 hours, we can hear our stomach going, you know, okay, time to feed it, right? He's once every 3 days. 5-year-old boy, imagine that. Then in the second month, he ate fruit once every 6 days. 5-year-old boy. And then he ate grass and leaves and he was fasting on water. Then throughout this time, he was practicing, you know, breathing control. And so he became so expert, accomplished in that he could hold his breath for a very long time. Very, very long. He attained very good yogic perfection, mystic yogic and all that, you know, all that stuff. To the point where he was completely controlling his mind and senses. Complete. Prabhupada uses the word complete. Controlling the mind and senses and concentrating on the Lord. 5-year-old. Because he wanted to see the Lord in his heart. He was just concentrating, you know. Imagine how much difficulty we go through to chant just one round with concentration, let alone 16 rounds. We have to keep beating our minds. I know I go through that every single time. But he was 5 years old, and he was concentrating on the Lord in his heart, wanted to see the Lord. And of course, his desire was fulfilled. If we think of the pastime of Dhruva Maharaj, we think of two aspects. See, Lord Krishna has two energies, material and spiritual. And they can be used interchangeably, if we know how to use it, that is. We don't mess up with it, you know. Just like, you know, if we have this wall thermostats, right? It runs by electricity. That same machine can put out two kinds of energy. It puts out AC during the summer and heat during the winter. Two energies. We just know when to use it properly. In that same mood, Krishna has the spiritual and the material. And it's how we use it according to the living entity's desire. When a living entity, a conditioned soul, wants to exploit material nature, he goes into the material energy. I want to control. It's all mine. I dominate it. It's my way or the highway. He's exploiting the material energy. It's all mine. And when he no longer wishes, when he's like, you know, I'm tired of it. I've been doing it for so many years. I'm so tired. It's such a drain. He will switch it and say, let me get into the spiritual energy. There are only two choices in this Kali Yuga. Either we get sucked into the material energy and become a controller and just go deep down, or we get into spiritual energy and go up. See, that is the amazing thing about the material and spiritual, you know. The material energy, if our mindset is to exploit and go deep and become the controller, we go down. Spiritual energy, if we go in there, we become the servant, we go up. It's the other way around. That's the beauty. So in Dhruva's case, you know, he was cursed or scolded by his stepmother. He took it to heart. So I'm going to find the Lord. So he took that curse or that scolding, you know, from his stepmother and said, I'm going to go find the Lord. And he got into the spiritual energy and he went searching for Krishna. He could have fought for his dad and said, look, you know, my stepmother said this and you said this and you kicked me off. He could have got into the material energy and fought his case. He could have done that. He didn't do that. He tried to look for the good in that situation and went out to search for the Lord after 6 months, many months. 5 years old. Amazing. Very, very powerful. That's a very nice pastime that we all are, you know, very much aware of, is when Vidur tried to convince Dhritarashtra to return the throne to the Pandavas. What did Dhritarashtra do? He threw Vidur out of the kingdom. That is Vidur's home. He kicked his brother out of the palace. Vidur, smart guy, of course he was Yamaraj, smart person, he said, wow, I am going to use this banish in my favor. Let me go and go to pilgrimage. So because his love for Krishna was so deep, he says, let me use this banishment as an opportunity for me to go to the holy places and ask instructions from the sages, from the senior devotees. How can I grow in my spiritual life? I was told by one spiritual master that whenever we visit the holy places, holy dham, any temples, it shouldn't be just go visit and that's it. We should be asking questions, you know. How can I serve? How can I become a better devotee? Please bless me. You know, please help me to grow. We should be asking. That's what Vidur did. He's Yamaraj. If Yamaraj can take that position, what about us? We are nothing compared to Yamaraj. So he went to all the holy places. He says, I am going. So what did Vidur do is he used that and acted on the spiritual energy and said, let me go and visit the holy places. Even though he knew that he was mistreated, but he saw the blessing in the austerity. He didn't say, oh my God, my brother kicked me out. This is also my home. How dare he do that? How can they do that? Let me go fight for my right. He says, he didn't think any of that. He wasn't in the material energy. He says, this is Krishna's blessing. Now I can go and use this opportunity to visit the holy places. And he saw Krishna's blessing. Not only did he see Krishna's blessing, he suddenly was so free of political entanglement. He was out of the ministership for a while, that he could seek out pure Krishna consciousness. He went to the holy places with no attachment, nothing. Just in the mindset of, I love the Lord, let me go take darshan. Let me go receive advice. How can I become a better devotee? Blessing, we've heard this term, blessing in disguise. How to see blessing in austerity. The common human nature is we blame. We blame. He did this, which we see that Vidur did not do that. Shri Shri Dita Gaurachandra ki. Shri Shri Jagnabali Subhadra ki jai. Which we see that Vidur did not do that. He did not blame others. He didn't blame his brother for the pain. You cursed me, you threw me, you this me. Nothing at all. Instead, he tried to see Krishna's hand in it. So when we stop blaming others for the pain and understand our role of our karma, when we understand our role, we become more dependent on Krishna. That's the key. We become more dependent on Krishna. And the more we become more dependent on Krishna, the more we elevate in Krishna consciousness. The only way to elevate in Krishna consciousness is to depend on the Lord. Really, really, really depend on the Lord. See, the material energy is not to make us happy. If we think about it, it appears to be happiness, but it's not. It really isn't. No matter how hard you work, to get ahead in life, we never become happy. Because you know why? The reason being is, as I said, the buck doesn't stop there. We want more. You know, that's the story that when the businessman makes $1 profit, you think he's happy? Nope. He'll say, okay, I've made $1 profit. Let me see how to make a $10 profit. He's made the $10 profit. Is he happy? He goes, no, the greed is increasing. So let me see how to make a $100 profit. He made the profit. He says, if I could make $1 profit, $10 profit, $100 profit, let me try $1,000 profit. So the greed is increasing. So when the greed increases, there is no happiness. It just goes up and up and up and up. That is because everybody wants to do things at our expense. See, when we work so hard, long hours, for a company, the company is getting the results from us. But what do we lose? Our sleep. Less lack of sleep. Our meal times get messed up, right? We have to expend something. The company is benefiting it, no problem. But we have to give up something. We are sacrificing our sleep, our time, our family time, so many things. How can we become happy? That is not peace. That is not peace. So everybody is seeking gratification from us. And the more they seek their gratification from us, the more we are being entangled. And we're just giving and giving and giving, thinking, I'm getting happy. I'm becoming happy. No. Prabhupada says there is two things, temporary happiness and permanent happiness. Temporary happiness is the material world. It's always temporary. Chanchal. Very, 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 very flinching. Permanent happiness is with Goloka Vrindaban, with Krishna. That's the permanent happiness. And can we experience a little taste of that permanent happiness in the material world? Yes, when we are engaged in devotional service. It's very, very, very satisfying. Very satisfying. Because we know that we've made the Lord happy. There's a very nice pastime of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj. He had a sannyas disciple who performed very severe austerities, actually, by circumambulating Mother Ganga. And he would walk around the banks of Ganga for several months, chanting the holy name of the Lord barefoot. Imagine that. Circumambulating Mother Ganga, several months, chanting the holy name barefoot. That is great austerity. I mean, he had to practice a lot of patience and complete dependence on Krishna. Now that is a remarkable spiritual achievement. But guess what? His spiritual master, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, was very disappointed. I wonder why. When he came back from his several months of great austerity going around Mother Ganga, he went to his spiritual master, right here, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj, and he said, I have returned. I have done my circumambulation. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj looked at him very disappointed. So disappointed that he did not give his disciple sannyas. Why? Because the spiritual master told him to give up parikrama. He did not listen to the spiritual master. So the sannyasi this devotee, the sannyasi disciple, considered that I've done so much austerity. You know, I went several months around the whole of Ganga chanting the holy name on barefoot. That should be great, you know. And he thought, I have done this sadhana without the blessings of my guru, so my guru will be pleased. His guru said, no, you did not follow my instructions. So whatever you have done is of no use. So if one does not please the spiritual master, Krishna is not pleased. See, because the guru said, give up parikrama. He went for parikrama anyway. And he thought that by doing it, he'll be pleasing his guru. He says, no, but I told you to give it up. Why did you still do it? You're not pleasing me. You went against my instruction. So, Srila Prabhupada is saying that when Krishna is displeased, the person does not develop spiritually. Very, very powerful statement. Austerity and blessing. That's a very, I was reading this nice pastime this morning by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada, I think we've heard these glimpses, but I thought it was very powerful because when I read it, whenever I read it, I get goosebumps. But it's very, very sweet. Srila Prabhupada told Bhavananda, he told Bhavananda, he says, I did not want to come to this nasty place. You know which nasty place? This material world. But Krishna wanted me to come. And I told Krishna, I'm not inclined to such austerity. This is Prabhupada having a conversation with Krishna, okay? He said to Krishna, I'm not inclined to the Founderacharya. I'm not inclined to austerity. Krishna says, no, you go. I'll take care of everything. Prabhupada went through some serious austerity. Even though he told Krishna, I'm not inclined to austerity, and Krishna told him, no, you go, I'll take care of everything. And then he still went through austerities. Endless. But he never gave up his love for spiritual master. Prabhupada wanted to produce results and to show us how to deal with those results. He said that he told Bhavananda, he says, one should live in the palace, but don't forget that he is not the king. You live in the palace, but you're not the king. We should give up that desire wanting to be king, even though we live in a palace. So in other words, Srila Prabhupada says, we have to grow spiritually to become the instrument, not to be recognized. Become the instrument. Allow ourselves to be used in Krishna's service. That is what Prabhupada did. Because he told Krishna, I don't want to go to the nasty place. Because I'm not inclined for austerity. And then the Lord says, no, you go, I'll take care of everything. He came for austerities anyway. Because he allowed himself to be the instrument in Krishna's service. That is seeing the blessing in the austerity. How many of us have read Prabhupada Lilamrita completely? Like the whole thing. 1, 2, 3. We have read Prabhupada's austerities. Was it a blessing? Purely. Because Prabhupada saw the blessing in the austerities. If Prabhupada did not go to the austerities, we would not be here today. But Prabhupada saw the blessing. He saw the blessings. He could see every blessing in every austerity. And that's why we are where we are today, is because of his austerities. He went through so many austerities. So many austerities. But he never lost a moment of, he never thought of giving up. He went on and on and on through all the austerities. If we go back and really think of what he went through, I know when I read the book, especially the moments where he went through all his sufferings, I was reading and crying. It was like I was walking the journey with Prabhupada, just feeling all the sufferings he went through, all the austerities he went through, just to print Prabhupada, just to print the books by Spiritual Master. His Guru said, just print my book. When you have money, just print. When you have money, just print. Prabhupada went through austerities just for that, because he had full faith in his Spiritual Master. And he never once regretted it. He saw the blessing in what he did is what we have today. I'm sure each of us can think in our own personal life what we went through, any austerities and sufferings and hardships and sacrifices. And we could see the blessing in it. We could definitely see at least one blessing in it. I remember I was talking to one devotee, I think this morning or yesterday, I don't know when it was. I was telling him that when I came to America in '91, there were 2 colleges that my father wanted to admit me. One was a community college, and the other one was a private Christian college. At that time, I was a Christian, very, very, very staunch Christian. And I was very, very attached to going to the Christian college. Naturally, because I was a staunch Christian. Very, very attached. But my father couldn't afford the school fees. It was double. And he tried to go through many instances to get help, assistance for finances, to pay for my fees, and he couldn't do it. And he sadly told me, I cannot afford the school. You go to the community college. At least for 1-2 semesters, you go for 1 year, and then we'll see if we can transfer you. I said, okay. But so the first 1-2 weeks, I was very disheartened, because I really was hoping one day I will transfer to the to the Christian college. Krishna's arrangement, after 1 semester, is where I met my husband. Now, had I gone to the Christian college, I wouldn't have met my husband. I wouldn't have met my Spiritual Master. I wouldn't be here today. It was very austere for me to go to the community college. Fresh from a foreign country, thrown into a community college, like, my God, this is so foreign to me. It was giving up a lot of stuff. But I look back and I said, and I was telling this devotee, had it not been for that, I would not have met my husband. I would not have met my Spiritual Master. I would not be where I am today. Was it an austerity? For me, it was. Is it a blessing? Oh, yes. Now when I look back, I have no regrets. Like, literally have no regrets. Sometimes I have to remind myself, and this is something that I try to remind devotees, is look back in our lives of all the sufferings we went through, all the austerities in the past. See, it is very difficult to look at the blessing at that time of the austerity event. It's very difficult, because we are like, oh my God, it happened to me. Why did it happen to me? And all that drama in the mind. But 10, 15, 20 years later, when we look back, we are like, thank you, Krishna. Thank you. It was a blessing. Thank you. Yes, it was difficult, but thank you. Yes, it was austere, but thank you. It was hardship. Absolutely, thank you. Like when I look back, sometimes my husband has this habit of like to talk in the morning hours when I'm still sleepy, because I need my sleep. Like he'll get up because he doesn't sleep long because of his health. So 5 o'clock he's up. He'll ask me, are you awake? I'm like, That means, no, let me sleep. But then I know he needs to talk, so I'll talk, And we're talking about all his realizations, And a few days ago, in the morning, same thing, 5:30, I'm like, because he's awake. I'm telling you. Because from 3 to 5, because of his health, he doesn't sleep. Then he'll be reading, and when I toss, he goes, You're awake? I was like, you know? So I say, okay, what do you want to talk now? And there's always some kind of realization. Then he said, I was thinking, I said, you're always thinking early morning. I was, what are you thinking now? So I was thinking, had we not gone through this in our Krishna consciousness, I don't think we'll be who we are today. I said, that's right. Now can I sleep? But it's true. It's so true. I mean, I look back and it was very, very austere. Very, very austere. My first 15 years of my Krishna consciousness was very, very, very austere. I mean, me and my husband were almost like temple devotees before the girls were born. I think even after they were born, we were still like Grihastha temple devotees. It was very difficult. But when I look back, I'm grateful. Because that gave me conviction. Gave me faith and strength and belief in Krishna consciousness. Now one might ask, but you know what? I'm a Grihastha. Majority of us in this temple are householders, right? Now how does Grihastha practice of seeing blessings through austerity, why is it so important to us? See, in family, and I was reading this nice quote by Jayapataka Goswami this morning. In family life, we raise children. Raising children in this age of Kali Yuga, in the age of Kali is very austere. I don't know how many of you are going through it, but it's very austere. But it's a service. When we separate family life from devotional service, it becomes more difficult. When we think that family life, raising children, raising a family is part of devotional service, it becomes an offering. That's the austerity. Raising children in Kali Yuga is an austerity. It really, really is. Because these kids were not born because we just want, I was talking to one devotee I think about a week ago, and this devotee was telling me, this person is looking, for a life partner. And he said to me, Mataji, it's so hard to find life partner. I said, don't even go there, I said. I know. I said, even I'm on that same platform. So don't even go there, I said. And he says, Mataji, I met this person because I cannot find any girls, in ISKCON. It's so difficult because he's up there in age. He says that I met this person and everything matched. Everything matched. The horoscope matched, this one matched, compatibility matched, everything matched. Only one red flag. She told him, if we get married, I cannot come to the temple with you because I'm not a temple person. I'm a Sai Baba fall, so my kids will become Sai Baba. He goes, thank you very much. We'll end the relationship right here. Tata, bye-bye. How can it match? Because the person is not seeing that family life is part of devotional service. It's an austerity. So first we must ask ourselves is, do I want my family life to be part of my bhakti? And if so, then how do I make my children Krishna conscious? How do I make my family Krishna conscious? How to teach Krishna consciousness to our children? Are we able to teach to our children? This is the part of devotional service. Family life is devotional service. See, the thing is that when we go out and preach, we preach to the, to anybody, right? To the commoners, lack of a better word. So we think that we can make them devotees. So we think, okay, but the kids that's coming through, that's a different story. No, it's not. It's part of service. They are none different from the so-called commoners out there. They're part of our lives. They are part of devotional service. That is the reason why Srila Prabhupada says when we have children, we should be ready to liberate them. Just don't have them. That means it is devotional service. It's a duty that we have given to us by the Lord. Prabhupada says, we've heard this comment by Prabhupada many times. He says, it takes buckets and buckets of blood to make one devotee. He used the word buckets and buckets of blood to make one devotee. And then he says, to make our children Krishna conscious, how many more buckets will it take? It's quite a bit of work. It's quite a bit of work. So that's the reason why it's so important to start from young. Incy, tinsy, wincy age. Because that's when their memory power is very strong. You know, they can really absorb quite a bit. That's my husband. The one that I said would like to talk at 5 in the morning. Spiritual verbalizations. But 5, you know, like, because when they're young, they can absorb a lot. They can retain a lot. The best time to start training and raising our children, our families, when they're very, very, very young. If we see many of our children, they go to non-devotee schools. It's even more important that we make sure that our children are in the right association. Very key point. If we look at the weak, and this is something that I always tell parents, because I used to do that a lot with my children. And whatever I'm speaking and sharing is not that I haven't gone through it. Believe me, I've gone through it. And Krishna's arrangement, I had a lot of support. Sometimes there was no support because my husband was away. But it was very austere raising my 2 girls because it was very difficult. Because I remember Srila Prabhupada's words, are we ready to liberate the children? I used to do a weekly evaluation, assessment in my mind, sometimes daily, but normally weekly. I'll say, how many hours in the week did my children see devotees? And how many hours in the week are they hanging out with their non-devotee friends? If you count by numbers, it's pretty scary. If you look at it, because so many hours, they are with non-devotee association. At least 8 hours a day, 6 to 8 hours a day, right? And with non-devotee association, you'll be lucky if it's 1 hour a week. You'll be lucky if it's 1 hour a week. What is the ratio? 1 to I don't know what. Very minuscule, very minuscule. So that is the reason why it's very important as parents that we really teach our children what it means to be austere in Krishna consciousness. For some people, that word might be negative. It's not. It really isn't. Because we cannot give our children a golden spoon, a silver spoon, whatever you want to call it. This is Kali Yuga. We can't. Because they will go through their own austerities and so forth and all that. Prepare them now itself. Teach them now itself what it means to be austere, what it means to deal with austerity, what it means to go through difficult times, what it means to go through tough times, what it means to go to hardships. Let them feel it and help them to see the blessing in it. I was talking to one devotee a few days ago. I think it was sort of, something about, I forgot what it was. And I remember I was telling him, my daughters don't have so many, they don't own so many saris. And Shri Nitai Gaura Chandra ki, Jagnabai Subhadra ki jai. They don't own so many saris. And he told me, because he's used to seeing Indian women having closets full of clothes. Not in my household. You will never see that, which is a blessing. So the reason is, ever since my kids were small, I don't know how old they were, 5 or 6 or something, I used to do something called spring cleaning. Every 6 months, one Saturday, I'll open the closets, I'll have them sit with me, and I'll go through the closet. Do you wear this? No. Do you wear this? No. Do you need this? No. Do you need that? No. I said, bring it out. So they'll ask me, Amma, why are you taking it, why are you getting rid of it? I said, because there are others that can use it. It doesn't fit you. If it doesn't fit you, if you're not going to use it, share that with others. So they hated that every 6 months cleaning, but I made them do it with me. Now, my daughters do it, I don't know, every 3-4 months, they just do it automatically. And I see clothes, yep, Salvation Army, yeah, becomes a blessing. Little things like that. Teach our children to see blessings in austerity. And be very honest. See, sometimes parents think, but Mataji, and I've heard this, but Mataji, but I'm there, so I'm a devotee. Are you giving the child association, or are you correcting your child half the time? Big difference. Parents cannot be devotee association with the children. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. Children need friends. Parents cannot fill in the gap. Okay, I am a devotee, so I can give them devotee association. It doesn't work that way. They need their own devotee association. So it's very critical, important that as parents, we see how to teach even our family and our children to see blessings in austerities. What it's like to not have this. I'll tell you a joke. And we'll end it with Prabhupada's quote. Many years ago, when my second daughter, when both my girls were very young, we were going to Walmart. And this was after my second daughter was born. I think she was like 3 or 4 or 5, I forgot how, but very, very young. And she wanted a brother. All of a sudden, she said, Daddy, I want a brother. And I was like, in my mind, I gave birth to both of you. That's done. My job is done. I'm not going through it again. So she went and told her dad, I don't know if my husband remembers. He said, no, Daddy, I want a brother. I got a big sister, but I want a small brother. So he said, okay, Saki, come here. He took her to the toy aisle. Says, you see all these teddy bears? They're all your brothers. Job is done. This can be your brothers. I'm not giving any more brother. because we know what's it like to raise children. But it's very important that we teach our children how to see blessings in austerity. Why? When they go through austerity, they can handle it. If we keep giving them lavish silver spoon, golden spoon, when they're hit with austerity, they'll go crazy. Especially in today's youth, it's so much needed. It's so much needed. Very, very important. So it's very important that we give good association. Children need good inspiration, good association. Is it easy? You got that right, Suvrat. It's not easy. Thank God he agreed with me. It's not easy. Sri Advaitacharya, how many sons did he have? 6 boys. 3 of them were pure devotees. 3 of them were not. It's not easy. Okay. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, how many kids did he have? 10 children. Out of the 10, how many became a devotee? 1. Srila Bhaktivedanta Maharaj became a pure devotee. All the 9 didn't come. Was it easy? No, it was not. But he gave buckets of blood for that one son. Buckets of blood. So it's not easy, but we have to try and give our best. That is devotional service in Grihastha Krishna Consciousness. Give our best so that we can help our family and our children to see blessings in austerity. Because Kali Yuga, we're going to be faced with austerities. There's no getting away from it. We're going to be faced with austerities. A very nice quote by Srila Prabhupada, and we'll open up for questions. Srila Prabhupada wrote this on May 8th, 1969. I was on the sea for 1 month and 10 days continually, and that was a horrible account. Talk about austerity. At the age of 69, when he moved here, he turned 70. When he left Calcutta, he was still 69. Perhaps you have read it in my diary, which you collected in Vrindaban. So let us forget our past difficulties in Krishna consciousness. If anyone faces difficulties, it is considered as blessings. Because without tapasya, austerity, or voluntarily accepting inconveniences, nobody can realize transcendence. So when we are put into difficulties, while discharging Krishna Conscious duties, it is to be understood that Krishna puts us in a field of austerities and penances, which help us progress towards realization of our goal of life. So beautiful. So beautiful. Srila Prabhupada ki. Any questions, any comments, any takeaways? Yes, Naveen.
Haribol, thank you for the class. No, I was thinking, because you were talking about Lilamrita, and Prabhupada's journey. So just when you were talking about that, 2 of the episodes came to mind, where the blessing in disguise, and then, because even Prabhupada, it wasn't like, at the time he was always necessarily seeing it, So I thought, when he was still in India, right, before sannyas, he was vanaprastha, he tried to start this league of devotees.
Yes.
In Jhansi, right, in India. I think he made 1 disciple, and then some, women's group, right, kicked him out.
Something
they took
just
the building,
took over because they wanted,
right?
exactly.
Where they had some
Mahila
connection.
something,
Right.
yeah.
So, but if he had started that, it would have been, the Indian Society for Krishna Consciousness, right? Like, would he have even done it anywhere else? So Krishna had his plan, so it was foiled, Yes. And then I was also thinking, when he was here, and then there started to be some problems with, founder Acharya and people questioning and saying Prabhupada's Krishna, whatever, right? And he became very disturbed, and he called Tamal Krishna Maharaj. He said, just get me out of here, get me out of here. So then later he was reflecting that, he had set up the Los Angeles temple. It was like one of the first, right? It was not just a storefront.
Wasika Avenue.
Yeah, it was like a real temple, and he was training deity worship, and he thought when all this happened, he thought, Krishna, why are you doing this? Here I am just starting. And then, he thought, because you wanted to give me, the temple in Juhu, right? Yes. Krishna Balaram Mandir, right? Mayapur. So then he understood,
that's a bigger
Krishna
plan.
had this plan of these temples. So
bigger plan.
just like you're saying, so that what looks like, right, it's actually a reversal.
Completely.
In the end is the only way that all the really great things happen.
Only way, absolutely. Because legal, it could have ended at a league of devotees and then the job was done. Krishna had his own Leela. Thank you. Very nice. Thank you. Prabhupada Lamrita, I highly encourage everyone, if you have not read it, read it. It's powerful. It's powerful. Once we read it, not only do we love Srila Prabhupada, we fall in love with him. We just fall in love with him, pretty much, But thank you. Wonderful. Yes, Nitya Gopal.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you
Haribol.
for wonderful discourse.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
So, when we go to the holy places, we always hear we have to seek a guidance from senior devotees. I was wondering what are some of the practical ways we can do that?
Very nice question. Thank you for asking that. I asked the same question from one other devotee. And this Mataji said, when you approach a senior devotee, you ask them, how can I grow in my Krishna consciousness? How can I serve? Because sometimes when we ask, how can I grow, we just think reading, chanting, and that's it. Actually, it's devotional service. So we have to ask, how can I serve to please Srila Prabhupada? Please guide me. Or how can I become a better devotee? How can I please my spiritual master? How can I please Srila Prabhupada? How can I please Lord Chaitanya? And like you on book distribution, how can I please Prabhupada in his book distribution service? What can I do more? You know, asking simple ground level questions, nothing high-fi, very, very simple. And you'll see the wealth of information that comes from the same devotee is like, whoa, you ask a simple question and you get this whole katha. It's like so sweet. But yeah, that is what this devotee told me. You know, simple. Always asking, how can I be an instrument? Yeah, thank you. Very nice question. Thank you. Any other questions, any comments, any takeaways? The women are quiet. Any questions, any comments on the women's side? It's always that the men that ask, which I'm very grateful, but I like to hear from the women, to hear women's voice too. Any takeaways, any feedbacks? Yes, Reena. Guru Guranga.
Kids have like a good way of remembering things, and what you teach your kids when they're younger, they'll remember it forever.
Yeah.
So when I was younger, you know, my parents went to like a just regular Hindu temple, and my mom used to sing this arti, like a Mataji arti, and I haven't sung that arti in probably years, and I recently went to someone's like home program, and they were singing that arti. I knew every single word of the arti.
Wow.
So it's like what you do, like what you said, you know, it's like very important, like when they're younger.
Very, very important.
Yeah. So
Very
I thought
important.
about that when you said that.
Thank you. It's so important because it carries them. Like I still remember, you know, again, being raised as a Christian. You know, I was a very strict churchgoer. And till today, now I don't go there often, but before my mother passed away, I used to go visit them frequently in Maryland. And they always go for church service. And I know all the hymns, what we call bhajans, they call it hymns. I know all the hymns. I still remember the hymns. Sometimes they'll just come. So in the shower, I've learned to change the hymns into the Mahamantra tune. Dovetailing it, I love it. So much fun, you know. But yeah, you know, and because it's ingrained from childhood. That's why it's so important that we make sure that our kids are in the right association, you know. And we always have to check, like I said, the number of hours that they spend in non-devotee association during the week. Are they getting that met with the devotees? And if they're not, then we have, as parents, have a job, have a service, because. And I really like how Jayapataka Swami said, he says that family life is part of bhakti. It's not separate. In fact, he adds, now I remember, he says that when it's separate, it's a conflict. That's the word he uses. It shouldn't be separate. Family life is part of bhakti. Once we see it that way, then we know that we have a service to the children. It takes time. But yes, thank you for sharing that. Very, very nice point. We have to, yeah, the young minds are very, what they call SpongeBobs, I think is what they call it. They absorb things very, very easily. Thank you. Any other points before? Any takeaways? Any realizations? Thank you so much. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai.
Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Srila Prabhupada. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakhati Sadma. Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakhati Sadma. Banda mohe savadana mate. Banda mohe savadana mate. Jahara prasade bhai, he bhava toriya jai. Jahara prasade bhai, he bhava toriya jai. Krishna Prapti Joy Jaha Aite. Krishna Prapti Hoy Jaha Aite. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Shetete Koriya Akhya. Harana Koriyo Mane Asha. Arana Koriyo Mane Asha. Shri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttama Gati. Jai Prasade Pure Sarva Ashade Pure Sarva Asha. चक्षुदार दिलो जे जान में प्रभु से ओ चक्षुदार दिलो जे जान में प्रभु से देव ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो विनाश जाते हो वेद गाया हर चरितो वेद गाया हर चरितो ओ श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनार बंधु श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनार बंधु लोकनाथ लोकेर जीवना ओ लोकनाथ लोकेर जीवना ओ हा हा प्रभु करो दया देह मरे पद छाया ओ हा हा प्रभु करो दया देह मरे पद छाया ओ एबे जासे घोष त्रिभुवना शिला प्रभुपाद पतित पावना जय प्रभुपदा 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 शिला प्रभुपदा जय गुरुदेवा 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 जय गुरुदेवा नेताय गौर हरि बो नेताय गौर हरि बो नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशधारिणे Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Oh Rama Rama Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna Oh Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Oh Rama Rama Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna Oh Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Oh Rama Rama Hare Hare Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna
Premanande. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivajikacharya Stotra Satyasi Srimada's Divine Grace. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Jayam Vishnupad Paramhansa Parivajikacharya Stotra Satyasi Srimada's Divine Grace. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj Prabhupada ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnavindi ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki. ISKCON founder Charya Srila Prabhupada ki. Prem se kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Dvaita Gadadhar Shivashari Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Sham Kun Radha Kun Giri Gopadan ki. Shri Vrindaban Dham ki. Shri Mayapur Dham ki. Jagannathpuri Dham ki. Navadvip Dham ki. Ganga Mai ki. Jamuna Mai ki. Tulsi Devi ki. Bhakti Devi ki. Hare Krishna Mahamantra ki. Samaveda Bhaktavinda ki. Nitai Gaura Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the lotus feet of Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga.
Namaste Nara Shingaya. Namaste Nara Shingaya. Shivu Kanu Binga Keshavadita Nara Hari Rupa Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare. Brahmanandi.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare. Srila Prabhupada ki. Nitai Gaurachandra ki. Jagabhai Subhadra ki jai. Want to thank the devotees for coming out for Sunday program. Would like to welcome our guest. This is your first time here, right? And your name is?
My name is Adhuta, that is my son Avram, and that is my husband Ashish.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. This is your first time here, and you're driving by? You're from local?
We're from Mechanicsburg.
Oh, Mechanicsburg. You're one of us. Majority of us are from there. So, thank you for coming, and we hope that you'll come. We'll definitely talk to you more after the program. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. And I would like to welcome Kushal. He is coming back after 3 months, 2 months of internship in Connecticut, and it's so nice to have you back. Nice to be back. I saw you dancing. You couldn't wait to dance in Kirtan. Very nice to have you back. Thank you, Kushal. Would also like to welcome Narahari Priya Prabhu from Seattle, Washington. He's actually, he's here because his son Satvik, who's sitting right next to him, got admitted in Penn State Harrisburg, first year student. So we want to welcome you and your family and your friend next to you, right? Hare Krishna, so nice, very nice. You brought the whole gang with you, so nice. And it's nice that Krishna is having us have more young people. And I asked all of you to please look out for Satvik. His dad is returning back to Seattle, so we have to watch over his son now. He's local, so we have to be so all of us have to be the parent for this young boy. So we'll take care of you, Satvik. Don't worry, I have your contact, so we are good. And thank you, Prabhu, for entrusting your son in our hands. If we can do any service, please let us know. Thank you. Few announcements that we have. We want to remind the devotees about Sunday school registration. It's coming up, it's around the corner, and we are expecting more because we know that we normally have more kids coming in, and the registration is online. If you would like to register your child for the upcoming school year, please do see Varsha Mataji or myself, and we will take your email addresses down to send you the online form. It is for ages from 4 through high school. And we have 4 different classes. And you're welcome to even share that with all your friends that you know who would like to engage their kids in Sunday school. The Sunday school starts on September 10th. And we would like the devotees, the parents, to register their kids by August 26th. The teachers need at least 2 weeks to get their materials, their curriculum, and everything, all the good stuff together. They work full-time also, and they do this purely on voluntary basis. So we want to respect their time so that they have enough time to prepare for the classes. If you have further questions, please do see myself or Mother Varsha. We'll be happy to speak with you about the Sunday school registration. August 27, next Sunday is what? Julan Yatra. Harival. The first day of Julan Yatra is on Sunday. It's going to be a Sunday evening program like this Sunday. And next Sunday is going to be special because we will have the swinging festival of Sri Sri Radha Shrad Bihari. They're coming into town again, the temple. So please, we ask you to spread the news. Invite your friends, invite your family, your neighbors, everyone to come out and experience Julan Yatra, where we have bhajans, kirtans, beautiful pastimes of the swinging festival of Radha Krishna, and of course, the swinging festival of Radha Krishna, Sri Sri Radha Shrad Bihari, followed by a very wonderful Ekadasi feast. So please do block your calendar for that. Now, August 30th, which is a Wednesday, now that is Balaram Purnima, which is the birthday of who is Krishna's big brother. So we have his appearance coming up next Wednesday. It's going to be an evening program. I believe it's, my main person is not here. Subrat, is Subrat here? Subrat, what time is it, do you know? I give you all the times. I think it's 6 o'clock. Thank you, 6 o'clock, okay, my mind is not working. But it's 6 o'clock, it's going to be an evening program, and we request devotees to please do come out. We will definitely hear the beautiful glories of Lord Balaram, who is the Lord of Strength. He was the big brother of Krishna. So it'll be a very wonderful pastime to hear, and also we'll have the Pushpa Abhishek of Lord Balaram, and we will conclude with the swinging festival of Sri Sri Radha Shrad Bihari. So we're going to have double jeopardy on that day. We'll have Pushpa Abhishek of Lord Balaram and Radha Shrad Bihari, and we will swing them for the end of Julan Yatra. So please do block your calendars for this coming Sunday, August 27th and August 30th. It's going to be a busy next few weeks actually. Followed by the Kipona Festival, September 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We're going to have 2 booths downtown Harrisburg where they have the big yearly Kipona Festival from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. And our devotees will be distributing Srila Prabhupada's books. Kipona Festival, right? Okay. And this year we have, in fact, I want to touch base, the devotees went out Friday and Saturday for book distribution. And in 3 hours, from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., They did an amazing book distribution effort in 3 hours in front of Bombay Bazaar. Amongst the small books on the Bhagavad Gita, they were able to distribute 5 Krishna books. Amazing. And 1 full Bhagavatam set. And a sponsor for a full Bhagavatam set. So they did magic that day. Prabhupada says when we go out and we distribute his books, magic happens. It literally happens. So please, we request your voice to please do come out September 2nd, 3rd, and 4th from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. to support the book team when they are out there beautifully, but with so much effort and dedication, distributing Srila Prabhupada's book so that we can share the peace formula. Srila Prabhupada calls it the peace formula with the souls out there who are looking for peace. And the answer is in Srila Prabhupada's books, the peace formula. So please, if you need more questions, more answers, please do say Nitya Gopal Prabhu and Prasad Prabhu at the back, and they'll help you with whatever questions and whatever help that you can support the team. Now, a few days after that is Janmashtami. That is another double jeopardy because Wednesday, right, is Janmashtami, followed by Thursday's Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja. So Janmashtami is going to be an evening program. It is going to start at 7 o'clock. We will have bhajans, kirtans, we'll have Abhishek of Shri Shri Radhashad Bihari again. So we're going to have a lot of opportunity and mercy from now till Radhastami. And then they go hide out for about a month to make us wait longer, and then they come out again. They play peekaboo. They like to play peekaboo, you know. So we will definitely see them again on Janmashtami at 7 o'clock. There will be a short cultural performance, and there will be kirtan, there will be arati, and the best part of it is that the midnight arati is beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So please do block your calendars, and again, share the word. Share the word, invite your friends, your family. We normally get about 400 people on Janmashtami Day. So there are services that we all can get engaged to make it a beautiful festival for anyone that comes. Amazing opportunity to serve the devotees of the Lord. So if you need any help, if you need services, please do come see me. I do have a list with me. So please do come see me. The next day is Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja. Yes, that's one of my favorite festivals, the Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja. It's an evening, it's at 4:30 in the afternoon. We will all be assembling around Srila Prabhupada. We will be having a wonderful sharing, offerings, homages, and definitely that's the day we've heard Prabhupada loves kachori mukkas, what he was called. That is the only day we will have kachoris on Srila Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja. So if you want to really try real Bengali kachoris, come on Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja, because that is the most beautiful festival, Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja. As we swear, he came to this world and went through so many austerities. And at the end, he was glorious. And that is the best thing we can do, is to be present and thank Srila Prabhupada, glorify Srila Prabhupada, and offer ourselves as an instrument to Srila Prabhupada. And the last announcements, also, if anybody would like to sponsor, if anyone is inspired to sponsor Bottom Jayanti's programs feast, or the flower sponsorship that we do for Pushpabhishek and Aarti, you can please see me. Another request that I would like to request is if any devotee would like to sponsor flowers for the daily Aarti for Nitai Gaurachandra, please do come see me. They normally get about 40 flowers a week, 35 to 40 flowers. So if anybody would like to buy a bouquet or two of, to sponsor their flowers weekly, please, you can always bring it on a Sunday or Wednesday. Sunday anytime this evening or Wednesday evenings, so that we can use that flower to offer Aarti to the Lordships. And that would help a lot to help us do wonderful service to Nitai Gaurachandra. Lastly, I heard a news a few days ago. Many of us know who is Shravan, one of our very dear devotee in our congregation. His father passed away in India. He was struggling with cancer, and he had to leave that very same evening to go to India. and we would like to pray for his father, and we would ask Manoharini, sorry, I corrected myself. I'll ask her if she could sing the Nrsimhadev prayers, and while we're singing the Nrsimhadev prayers, if we can really pray for Shravan's dad. He comes from a very, very beautiful Vaishnava family. In fact, I believe his sister-in-law and his in-laws are all disciples of Radhanath Swami, and he is a very dedicated devotee to our community, very supportive, always loved to serve Lord Jagannath on Rath Yatra Day. He's the one that brings the deities from Philadelphia and takes them back. So we would like to do one more Nrsimha prayers for his dad. If we can go into a very meditative mood and pray for his dad, that the Lord will bless the soul. Hare Krishna.
Namaste Narasrimhaya. Namaste Narasrimhaya.
Thai Gaura Premanande.
Prasadam prayers by Pranav Prabhu.
Mahaprasade Govinde Namo Brahmane Vaishnave Svalpa Punyavatam Rajan Vishwasune Vajayate Sharirar Vidyajal Sharirar Yogendriya Dahekal Jive Pele Vishay Sagore Jive Pele Vishay Tara Mate Jivayati Tara Mate Tilo Polmoy Sudharmati Tilo Polmoy Takijata Katin Samsare Takijata Katin Samsare Krishna Baro Doya Moy Krishna Baro Doya Gori Bare Jivo Jai Gori Bare Swaprasadam Dilo Bhai Swaprasadam Dilo Sayanam Ritapao Sayanam Radha Krishna Gunagao Radha Krishna Gunagao Premita Shri Chaitanya Nitai Premita Shri Jai Nimai Jai Nitai Jai Nimai Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Mahaprasadam ki Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam Jai Jai Shri Radhe Prashadam is served downstairs.
Also, please take darshan of deities. I will be giving out the Charanamrit, so please have it as well.